All right, if I could have your attention, please. Thank you for coming. On behalf of the Reverend Timothy Lannon of the Society of Jesus, the president of St. Joseph's University, and Dr. Frank Morris, our executive director of mission, I would like to welcome all of you here tonight as part of our academic community, our faith community here at St. Joseph's, as we continue in a 5-part series that we have been running called The Catholics in the Public Square, a series that we annually call the Catholic Intellectual Series. The panel we have today joins an earlier presentation offered by Peter Steinfeld of the New York Times and Fordham University, Ronald Madras of St. Louis University, and Dr. Mary Jo Bain, the academic dean at the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University. And later our panel will be joined on April 19th with a lecture by Father George Coyne of the Society of Jesus, the director of the Vatican Observatory at Tucson in Arizona. And Dr. Coyne will be here that week also at an event that he and Dr. Pitts of the Franklin Institute will be doing in conjunction with St. Joseph's and the Wilma Theater. They will also be commentators on a production of Bertolt Brecht's The Life of Galileo, and that will finish our series in April. But we have a very esteemed group of people here who are exploring a very new part of our church, very new part of our society. This year marks the 300th anniversary of the public celebration and expression of Catholicism here in the city of Philadelphia, and also the 200th anniversary of the founding of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. Those first years, those first decades of the establishment of the Catholic community here in Philadelphia, that church was built by a group of lay men and women, and also with the help of Jesuit priests and brothers. I don't think that those particular ancestors in the tradition would have imagined the kind of conversation that we're having tonight, and yet they also had to deal with a set of circumstances, a very complex political and cultural and religious reality. They had to deal with an awful lot of innovation, creativity, and risk-taking. And I think to some degree, those forerunners of our faith community here in Philadelphia would very much understand the complex challenges, the complex world negotiated by our panelists here, as in some ways they also share in a pioneering activity of our church, expanding and extending the church life into a world that's in some ways very new for us. In order to facilitate our conversation this evening, we have asked that the conversation be hosted and in some ways shepherded by a man who, in my opinion, is the kind of person that the church needs all the more. Bill McGarvey is in many ways a Renaissance man, a man of incredible and multiple talents. He is by vocation and talent foremost a musician, a lyricist, and a poet, but also by demand in many ways he has contributed often to the intellectual life of the church, to the popular expression of life in the church through his writing and his editing. And so we welcome Bill to our community to help us through this conversation, which is very much a first of its kind, certainly in the Catholic world, where we are looking at this new world that we have, this new expression. Bill McGarvey serves as the editor-in-chief of BustedHalo.com, an online magazine for young adult spiritual seekers. It's sponsored by the Paulist Fathers. Prior to taking over at Busted Halo, he was the managing editor of Book magazine. In addition to Book, his writing has appeared in Commonweal, America magazine, The Tablet, and Time Out New York. Bill is also a New York City-based singer-songwriter whose albums have been critically acclaimed by publications ranging from the New York Times, the Washington Post, to Billboard. His songs have also appeared in films as well as network and cable television. Upon the recent completion of his album, Beautiful Mess, Bill was the subject of a cover story profile in the National Catholic Reporter. And I must say, too, I have actually used a number of Bill's songs for reflection on some of our retreats here at St. Joseph's University as well as elsewhere. Some of his music has an incredible depth that touches the soul and gives great expression, and I know that a number of people in this community have enjoyed it. So we're very grateful to have Bill with us, who's going to introduce our panel, as well as introduce a couple of faculty members who will be part of our conversation and lead us through our evening's exercises and conversation. So welcome, Bill.